right, we are live. Welcome, Mob Crew. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. Good to see everybody. Real quick, if you can hear me okay, please put a 1 in the chat. Make sure my settings are good. Let's see. Mic check. Mic check. All right, perfect. All right. Let me see. Let me get that over there. So anyway, just a quick update before we get started. Of course, we'll be talking about Delphi tonight. So I apologize. I have been missing some lives. Unfortunately, I've had some issues with my feet, particularly my left foot. It's been going on for almost a month now, where I've had like some swelling going on and then some like weird burning sensation. Anyways, long story short, it tends to happen when I'm sitting in my chair, and I had my doctor look at it last month, but that was kind of early on, and didn't see anything super concerning, just to keep an eye on it. And then I'm supposed to see my doctor this week, later this week, and anyway, it just kept coming back, and especially when I sit in this chair, and for some reason, it's like my left foot. Anyway, so I went to the ER last night because I was like fed up with it. Because I'm like, this is driving me nuts. I can't work. Like, I sit in this chair. This is like what I do. You know, I love editing. I love going live. I love you guys. You guys are so amazing. And it's been such a pain in the butt because it's like I can't do my work because it's like it starts to really bother me. So anyway, I went to the ER. Everything's as far as like health issues, nothing like major, but it seems like apparently I have some kind of neuropathy or something with my feet or left foot anyway. Nothing serious. They think just some physical therapy. Obviously, probably the winter time with me, sitting around, more than usual when I'm usually going out, during the summertime looking for missing people and all that stuff. But anyway, I'm just bummed because it's like it's really affected my work. But anyway, they said, it's hopefully physical therapy will get me back on my feet, as you should say. No pun intended. But anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know I'm still gonna stick with the schedule and hopefully make it through. But hopefully my doctor will get me on a proper schedule with the therapy I need. But it sucks because it's when I sit is when it hurts the most. And it's like that's when this is my office. And so anyway, hopefully we'll get things figured out. I just wanted to let you guys know, and I appreciate your guys' support, and we'll get back on top. So anyway, for those who are new to the channel, welcome. I'm Chris, Monsters Under Our Bed. We cover true crime, mystery to the missing. We always like to get back by featuring missing people at the beginning of the show. So we'll get to that real quick, and then we'll get on to Delphi. And then I'll get to chat here in just a minute. I appreciate you guys' support. Like I said, I'm so bummed. It's been nagging at me. And so if you notice something different from these last lives, it's because it's like I start getting this burning sensation. Anyway, I'm supposed to be getting some gabapentin. That's supposed to be for nerve pain tomorrow. So should be, that'll help me out for future lives. Anyway, today's missing. We have Alina Aguilar. I'll blow up her picture here in just a second. She went missing. Where is this one? I gotta go lower. On January 6th, so she went missing because I featured her once before. She went missing January 6th, so that's been about 2 weeks. Hispanic, brown eyes, brown hair, 5'2", 138 pounds. This is in Texas, San Antonio. Let's see, is there any info? I don't know if I can move that up. There we go. Anyway, if you have any information, and she is, what age is she? It doesn't say. That is weird. I don't think she's that old. I only think she's like 18, in the teens. But anyway, if you have any information, you can call 210-207-7660. Once again, that's Alina Aguilar. And I think Oh yeah, there's a little bit more. So apparently they believe this guy here, they say is a person of interest in her case. And I haven't really had a lot of time to look this up, but apparently this guy is one of the last people to be with her. I don't know a lot of details on this, but so anyway, so I thought I'd show his picture. But hopefully I find him and find her, and everything turns out good. But anybody in that area, please be on the lookout for Alina. And then the next one I just wanted to do for my good friend Tom, Jason Landry. He went missing many years ago. It's been now 4 years. Yeah, just about 4 years. Missing since December 13th, 2020. And he went missing in Loling, Texas. We have covered his case. There's a $10,000 reward. We have Jason Watts on the show. We did an interview with him. It's a pretty interesting case, very tragic. Long story short, he was driving at night, seemed to have crashed his car. We're not sure exactly how. And it seems that he kind of wandered off, and they have not seen him since. So hopefully, I know that they're going to go out and look for him as soon as the weather is better, and I wish them best of luck. If I can help, I'd be more than happy to. All right. So, real quick, so I can catch up on chat. If you're new to the Delphi case, I'll play just a brief recap, and then we'll get to the show. So I appreciate your guys' patience. So let me get this back one on February, and that way I can get to chat here. Let me move that. So yeah, I see a lot of support. Thank you guys so much. And it's just a bummer. Tom, man, thank you so much for gifting 5 Mob Crew memberships. If you did get gifted by Tom, if you could, please thank him. He's been an amazing supporter of this channel. I wouldn't be able to do what I do without your guys' support. So thank you so much, and thank you, Tom. Amazing guy. Hey, Darian, good to see you. Quick shout out to my wonderful mods. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. They are amazing. That's what I'm thinking too, because not to get off track, but it's definitely this chair and the position I'm sitting, because if I sit in my couch, which is like I'm sitting lower and it's kind of a different support, I don't get that. Like, it doesn't bother me. So I have to do something with some kind of nerve thing, and this chair and the position I'm in is not helping. So yeah, I've got to, that's one of the things I was thinking about doing, different chair or something like standing. And Tom, man, again, thank you so much, buddy. Oh, where'd it go? Hope everyone is doing great. Prayers for you, Chris. Cayenne pepper in your socks for circuit. Ooh. I don't think I have cayenne pepper, but I'll have to go. Jump rope 3 minutes a day to stimulate your legs. Yeah, exercise for sure. Yeah, obviously it's winter time. Big kind of cooped up. Lisa says compression socks help so much with neuropathy. Interesting. I appreciate your guys' support on that. And tips. Interesting. Yeah. I guess when you get less younger, your body doesn't want to cooperate. All right, so we'll play this quick little recap just in case you guys are not familiar with the case, and we'll get on today's show.
Of 2017, 2 teenage girls, Abby Williams and Liberty German, had made last-minute plans to go to the Monon High Bridge, which was supposed to be a teenage hangout with a historic trail and a really high old abandoned bridge. The 2 girls, who were best friends, just had a sleepover the night before and were excited when Libby's sister, Kelsey German, said she would drop them off as long as the 2 girls found a ride home, which they did. Although it was February, the temperature was nice for that day, and even though it was a Monday, they had school off that day. The 2 girls, Abby and Libby, would be dropped off just before 2 p.m., where they planned on only staying for a couple of hours. The 2 teens, Abby and Libby, would begin walking the 501 trail to the Monon High Bridge. As the two would approach the bridge, Libby, who had her iPhone, would take 2 pictures, one as they passed the first platform, and another which shows Abby looking down as she is crossing the scary, tall, gap-filled railroad tie. The girls didn't know it yet, but they were not alone.
Yeah.
As a few hours would go by, the father of Libby, Derek German, would show up, but the 2 girls were not at the meetup spot. Thinking that the 2 teens just lost track of time, he would end up calling Libby's phone. The phone was ringing, but no one was answering. He would begin searching for the 2 teens, but when running into other people, no one had seen them. Eventually, the authorities would be called out, and this would lead to a search party looking for the 2 girls. But sadly, there was no sign of them on that first night of the 13th. With the search being called off late that night for safety reasons, it would be resumed early that next day. They brought in helicopters, divers, and many other resources to scour the area. But just around noon that day, they would soon discover a grisly scene. Authorities would discover the 2 girls across the river, and both had.
And so that's just a quick recap, as always, just for anybody that may not be familiar with this case. And that's just kind of a brief recap I like to put on. So anyway, let's get into the updates, because there have been a few, mostly on the court side of things, of course. So let me pull up my... Where am I starting? There we are. Okay, so let's get up with the updates, and I appreciate everybody's giving some great advice with the feet. Seems like some people have gone through something similar. I really appreciate that, guys. That's awesome. It's something definitely new to me, and it sucks because I mean, this is what I do. I sit, and it starts to bother me. I start to get that burning sensation. And I didn't even think about it, sorry. And we'll get back to Delphi. That was the last time I mentioned it. But when I was looking for Dylan rounds, I got... it was weird. My cousin got it first, but... not the chicken pox. What you get after. That nerve thing. I can't even think of it because I'm on the spot. I can't even think of it. Anyway... I got that, which ended up going all around across my body. Shingles, yes. I always think of something different. Shingles. It was so weird. My cousin got it, and I get it a week later. And he's like a decade younger than me. He's like in his 30s. I'm in my 40. And it was so weird. He got it, and he started showing signs. And just as he started showing signs, about a couple days later, I got it. And I, in my opinion, I know it's not contagious. I swear to God, it's contagious in some form. I don't get how me and him both got it within a week period. So weird. And that was the time we were out looking for Dylan rounds. So we were both sitting in the car next to each other, probably sharing the same drink or something. But yeah, anyway, it reminds me of that because I've never had nerve pain until shingles. It's so weird. I'm sure if you guys have dealt with that, it's such a weird burning, weird feeling. I hate it. Yeah, I think it's contagious. I don't know. I asked the nurse yesterday when I was at the ER because I was convinced. She said no, but I'm convinced it is. Anyway, back to the update. I'm sorry. So, of course, both attorneys regional attorneys were forced to withdraw from the case due to apparent leaks and all that stuff. So then they brought on some new attorneys, Labrado and Schremen. And now, with the Supreme Court hearing, which they had a couple of different things to rule on, and one of them was getting the original lawyers back on the case because they felt like that was violating his amendment rights, Sixth Amendment, and they did pass that. So now he got his original attorneys back, and then as of today, his recently appointed attorneys have now withdrawn from the case. So now Sherman and Lobrato are gone, and now it's back to Bradley and Rosie. So as to today, he has 2 official attorneys. So that's good to hear. I felt like that at the very least that should happen. To me, to get at the end of the day, for Abby and Libby to get justice, Richard Allen needs to get a fair trial, and I feel like it would just be a mess, and I feel like so many appeals would go through or potentially go through after a potential verdict. So I'm so glad that happened. Now, Judge Gold seems to be pushing back with Frank's motion. She just put something out a couple days ago. I think it was Monday, or it might have been Friday, ruling on the Frank's motion. Apparently, they are going to have a hearing, I think, I'm sure. But I think a lot of us probably saw this coming. Clearly, they have history, which, in my opinion, I honestly hope she moves on and they just get somebody different. Just because I feel like she's just such a huge distraction. Let me know your comments in the chat. But honestly, I just feel like if she's going to be there, it's just going to be a distraction with this case lurking. And I would just feel better if they got somebody, just because now they have that history because she let them go. Now they're back. And, I just feel so much better if there was a new judge that just came on just so there's no kind of funky stuff at the end. But I guess the big question would be, is there somebody that can fill her position? And in that, in that city or state, do they have another judge that can take on such a big case? I guess that would be the next question. I see a lot of people, she should be removed. Like I said, I don't really stand on one side or the other. When it comes to Judge Gold and what she does, I really don't like to go there because I really feel like it divides the chat. But I feel like, honestly, it should just, if they got rid of her, I feel like it'd just be better. Because Cats, they're still hearing about her removal, which some people are saying she could hear herself or another judge could hear, totally separate from this. Oh, interesting. I don't know if I've heard about that. There was a point made that maybe the judge will dismiss dismiss the attorneys properly in a hearing. Yeah, I did see that as well. I don't think so. If the Supreme Court brought them back, and now with the newly appointed attorneys, Sherman and Lobrato, with them withdrawing, it would just be such a mess. That's why, honestly, I just think just get a new judge so there's no... Yeah, it's just too much of a distraction. I know a lot of people think she's corrupt. I just feel, corrupt or not, there's going to be that biased, because she already let them off, and now they're brought back, and it's going to, like I said, it's just going to be weird. So anyway, so I wanted to do a bunch of different questions because I still see this come up so much. Do you think BG has a limp, or does it appear that he has a limp? But I'm going to get to this here in just a minute. Actually, I think I had this one before I accidentally put this one out of order. So there's Jennifer Coffindaffer, which honestly I don't have negative feelings towards her. I know she's kind of been out there a lot, especially since Brian Kohlberger. It seems she kind of came out when the arrest of Richard Allen, and then Brian Kohlberger. She's kind of done a lot of media and stuff like that. And anyway, there was a post recently that she posted I wasn't happy about because she kind of brought up the thing with Ron Logan. And I know if you think Ron Logan's guilty, I mean, that's your opinion. I don't think he has anything to do with it. And the guy has passed on. But she mentioned something that kind of bothered me. So I thought we'd kind of look at this. There's one thing I had never done with Ron Logan. Is done like a side-by-side. And there is something I noticed when you look at his side-by-side walk with BG's walk. And so I thought we'd do that because I've just about done every different thing I could think of when it comes to this case. I know there's always more I'm sure I could do. So anyway, we'll look at that, and then we're going to talk about what he was doing. Just remind people, for those that don't remember. And there's just a few things that have stick out to me that we'll look at. But let's look at... where is it? There we go.
A new twist in the hunt for the...
But yeah, she put something where, the FBI, I'm not sure exactly how it was presented verbatim, but, in a tweet, she put, the FBI pointed to Ron Logan at the very beginning and kind of made, I don't know, like I said, I think that riled up some people. And I know there's still people out there that think he's guilty. And like I said, everybody's entitled to their opinion. We're all adults. We can all agree to disagree. But I don't know. The way she's put it, and the fact that the position that she had since she's former FBI, I think, I don't know, a little unwise in my opinion. So anyway,
killer of those two Indiana teenagers. Investigators executed a...
So I thought we'd look at...
buying truck
back here.
recorded the killer's...
What do you hear?
There's the voice at all.
I asked Ron...
Hill.
Respect.
Poor quality. It doesn't look like...
Of course, there's people partying next door, and I can hear it. I hope you guys don't hear that. Usually, this mic's pretty good at... getting rid of the background noise, but holy cow, they got the bass up. So here is the video that we've all seen a million times, and so I put Ron Logan, the best one that I could find. Obviously there's not many videos of Ron Logan walking, but I found a couple, and there was something that I noticed that, in my opinion, obviously we're only getting 2 steps from the BG guy. It's not a lot to go off. And I know still a lot of people think that he's got a limp. And I'm working on a video. I just didn't have enough time today, but I'm trying to work on it where I can get it to, because there's a stutter between when it resets, and it's when the stutter happens because if I were to ask anybody, and let me know in chat, if you think he has a limp, is it with the right leg, which would be this leg, his right, or his left leg? If you think he has a limp, say right or left. Just curious. Let me get the chat here, and then we'll play this back to back, or side by side, I'm sorry. Junior Johnson, I think it'd look bad with her on the case, but I doubt it's going to make any difference. Yeah. I just feel better if she was gone. I just... They need to get somebody else, but don't know if they have another judge. That's the thing is with that kind of case. We know that there was a prior judge before Judge Gold, and he freaked out and had to bail as soon as he was hired on, because with how big this case was going to be, he was overwhelmed, and he didn't last a week. Junior says, I don't think she's corrupt, just grumpy. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and then, there's just going to be that bad blood, and then people are going to think, well, is she going to be a fair judge, when, there's the sidebars and objections and all that. Tom, it feels like there is no chance with a fair trial with her. Not saying she's a bad judge, it just feels like she is predetermined with what's happening. I agree to a point. Yeah, I definitely agree. Thank you so much, Tom. I don't know if there's no chance of a fair trial, but it just feels like there's always something that could come back. You know. Is it just me, or does your own voice sound weird or different when you hear it on recording and stuff? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You have to get used to that. Yeah. A lot of people don't like hearing themselves for the first time on camera because it seems so different. June, good to see you. Hi, Chris Mob and Mobsters. I'm glad Richard Allen got his attorneys back, but Judge Cole needs to go. Like I said, I agree. I just feel like at the end of the day, the best word I can, and I know I keep saying it, it's distraction. It's just a big distraction. Cunningham, good to see you. I think she should recuse herself. Just doesn't sit right too much. I agree. What surgery planning on next? I want to donate, but I don't know what I'm donating to. So, one of them is in Idaho. Give me a second, Fun and Funky, and I'll pull up, because I'll be able to see it in like 2 seconds. I'll pull up her name. It's probably going to be the first one I work on because that's closest. And I'll bring that up here in just a minute, Fun and Funky. Give me 1 second. All right, so here's the walk side by side. And let me know if you see something. There is a familiar gait that Ron Logan has that I noticed. And we get him walking in two different positions, or two different times. And I noticed that he has a certain gait and a certain walk. Notice his right foot. And a little bit of his left, but especially his right foot. And he does it with a different walk. But notice his right foot. Really kind of, not duck walk, but he's got the right foot more out. Where if you see BG, I mean, for the most part, his legs, if not maybe the left leg, or the left foot almost, bows out a little bit. Now, I know BG's walking on a bridge, so it's, it's totally different circumstances. So, I mean, it's the best we can work with. But I don't know if anybody's ever done a side-by-side walk, so I thought I would do it just to address. I don't think Ron Logan, and we're going to go over a couple things with Ron Logan, just because. Okay, so here he is walking again, and notice same thing. And I tried to get the timing with the walk, so they're both walking like at the same time with the same leg. But he always pulls out the right leg. But that went a little bit longer. Let me play that one more time for you guys. But that's it. But he definitely bows out his right foot more. A little bit on the left foot, but it's not like a duck walk. And like I said, he does that with this walk, and then he does it with his when he's walking closer to the fence. Yeah, Ron Logan. So keep in mind, Ron Logan was 77 years old. Now, obviously, he could walk, but there's two things that I wonder if I'm sure at one point it's been mentioned, but notice he's got glasses. I could only imagine what his vision is at that age, if he's got glasses, and how long maybe he's had those glasses. It's too hard to tell if this person's got glasses. The witnesses never mentioned that the guy walking past the girls, I'm sure they would have probably noticed the glasses, because if he had part of his face covered, it would see, this. So I would think they would point out the glasses. Keep in mind, Ron Logan is I've heard 6'3". I know he's over 6 feet. I've seen kind of like different suggestions, but I mean, look how tall. I would think the girls, if they were standing next to Ron Logan, even like the witnesses, their head would come around this post area. This is a high fence, because this is to keep the horses and stuff in. So these are pretty high fences. So I'm assuming this is probably 4.5, if not 5, close to 5 feet. And that would be about, a few inches shorter than the girls. So I think they'd be like, yeah, there's this giant that just walked past me. So anyway, moving on to a couple things with Ron Logan. Where was Ron Logan? So Ron Logan originally went to the transfer station, which is weird. It's like a dumping ground. He went there earlier in the day. Now, this is where why people were, and I think law enforcement targeted on him. Plus, they found the girls on his property, so I kind of understand. But so he went to the transfer station at 11:53 and left at 11:59 or 11:58, basically just before noon, and then came back. Then he left apparently sometime after 2:30, and then he said he got back about 5:30. Now, if that's true, then he's gone for the duration of when the girls were kidnapped. So now he said he went to the aquarium store. Now, this is where there is red flags, because he did create an alibi, because he told a friend, hey, will you tell him that you drove me to the aquarium store from this time to this time, without asking that same person to make an alibi about him going to the transfer station. So they thought that was kind of suspicious because, it's in that time frame when the girls were taken. To me, I think he was just more worried about the longer trip, maybe. I don't know. I guess I should look up the transfer station. I'm assuming that's probably closer. But anyway, so this is where the aquarium is, and that's in Lafayette. So it's a 25-minute drive. So if he left anywhere from 2:30 and then got back about 5, I guess that would kind of add up, because you would spend, if you left at 3, and let's say it's like 30 minutes there and back, so it's an hour. I mean, I could see you spending about an hour at at a store like that, especially if he did purchase something. I wonder if he did. Maybe he didn't, because they don't mention a receipt. But I would think if he drove all that way, if they didn't get it in the beginning, at some point they got some kind of video of him driving to, be able to vet his alibi. And anyway, here's just a small post. Like I said, I just wanted to touch on Ron Logan just a little bit because, like I said, I saw that post recently and it just kind of bugged me. But this was posted by, I think, by his ex-wife. And anyway, I just wanted to read the first bit. It says, Ron Logan is not a suspect in the murder investigation. He's being held for a DUI probation violation. So if anybody is not familiar with Ron Logan, the reason why he probably had the alibi made is because he wasn't supposed to be driving at all. He had some DUIs, and if he were to drive, he would be arrested because he'd be violating his probation. And so that is presumably why he made the alibi about leaving around that time, because he didn't want them to know that he drove himself. Anyway, the police and his attorney have time-stamped videos of his whereabouts at the time the girls went missing. So I thought that was a very interesting statement, and that is also mentioned in the Ron Logan search warrant. Now, they only say that they have timestamps for his let's see. Did I not put that in? I might have missed that. Anyway, they only have times. Oh, I know what I need to do. Bear with me. Pull this up here. Is in the affidavit, they say they got, where is it? No. I took a screenshot of it. Anyway, somewhere in here, and I'm sure I'll see it here in just a second. Yeah, here it is. So, number 17, law enforcement learned that Logan had driven to the transfer station, drop off cash. They say 11:27 a.m. to 11:32, but it's off by 26 minutes. It says 11:53 to 11:58. Video from the transfer station shows. So they have video of the transfer station. So they say video. So they don't say plural. They say video from the transfer station. So, but in the statement by her, she says that they have time-stamped videos. Now, obviously, we don't know, you can only take her word for it. We don't know 100%, but so I'm assuming maybe they could have gotten, witness statements and possible video of Ron Logan. And the biggest thing I would say with Ron Logan is with the defense, they went with the Odin, and I would have think their best defense would have been just to go use Ron Logan as a patsy. That would make the most sense. It's what the FBI and law enforcement, that was their first suspect. Or person of interest. So to me, that would have made sense for the defense to go, but they didn't go that route. So it tells me that they probably have enough evidence that Ron Logan is not the guy, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but let me know what you guys think in chat. If you do think Ron is guilty, or if you have an argument against that. Yeah, like I said, I just wanted to go over that because they mentioned that, and Coffin Daffer, and like I said, I don't think she should have mentioned that in that post. Like I said, I think it ill-advised. Yeah, because he was on probation. Yeah, he wasn't supposed to be driving. Let's see here. Let me get to chat. Sorry guys, I've got the neighbors, like, all I'm hearing is this bass. They usually play music, but they do it like early in the morning or late at night, but not at this time. So it's, but yeah, they have their bass up. It sucks. Just the thought of this, could you imagine a 70-year-old man sliding down a steep hill and trying to keep it, and exactly, keeping his glasses in possession while chasing them sucks. Exactly. Yeah. And like I said, I'm sure he could probably get up and down the hill. Obviously, we watched him do it. There's a video of him going down the hill. We won't see him going up, but, that is his property, so I'm sure he's got areas where he feels comfortable. But, yeah, to chase the girls across the bridge, not saying it's not possible, but, yeah. And one more thing I found, and I forgot about this. So Kelsey German's grandfather, Mike Patty, told WFLI the cell phone, and this is referring to Kelsey's cell phone, had been pinging around town. So it was, Milo was on for the last however long hours. It was kind of bouncing around. I don't know if you guys remember that. Even though her cell phone was found obviously at the crime scene. For those that may not know, because one of the things they used again, or try to use when they got the search warrant for Ron Logan, is they said, well, his cell data was showing that he was near his property, and even was pinging near where the girls were found. Well, Steve has gone out there many times, and if any local would like to try it, you basically go out there with like an iPhone, because that's obviously what she had, and because of the tower service out there, you have an inconsistent like cell tower data, so it causes the pings to kind of like bounce around. And so Steve, good friend of the channel and coworker, he's been out there many times, and when he did the test to see how accurate find my iPhone, he said he was he'd be in one position, and then he'd look and see where the phone, if it showed, like if he was standing, if it was accurate, but yet it would say he was like standing, or the phone was like, 30 feet away or further. It would bounce around. So anyway, long story short, apparently the cell service is not like super accurate out there. Who made a phone call around 2 p.m.? Oh, at 2 p.m. Phone call at 2 p.m. I think we mentioned that before the phone calls. I'm trying to think what we mentioned. Oh, I think you might have mistaken it for this. Around 2 or 2:30 was when Ron Logan apparently left to the aquarium. I think that may be what you're talking about. Ron Logan made a call from the north end of the bridge at 2:09. Is that in this one? I'll have to look at that. But yeah, he said he left at like 2:30 or 3. And anyway, long story short, if they had the footage of that, then that's going to exclude him, because, even if he was there at the home, there's no way he'd be able to duck them and then leave at like 3 o'clock. It'd be interesting to know, if they had him, if they had witness statements from either the workers that worked there or people that were in the store. Karen thinks Ron Logan could have been involved somehow. I don't think so. I know he had a little bit of a shaky past, but I mean, I don't think that dictates him to be a murderer. Jennifer, member for, oh my gosh, 21 months. That's awesome. Amazing host, mods, members, and chat. Much love. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Good to see you, and I hope you're doing well. All right, moving on. So I know I have Jill Moser. Is Jill in here? So one thing I wanted to ask you guys, which way do you guys think BG came from, west or east? Do you guys think BG followed the girls from the bridge when he got there and turned back and then waited for them to go across the bridge and then came back from the west? Or do you think when BG arrived that he went all the way across the bridge and hung out waiting for the girls to come across the bridge, and then he walked past them just to kind of maybe fill them out, and then he knows that nobody else is coming on the bridge, so then all he does is just turn around, maybe after the 5th or 4th platform. Apparently there's mention that the girls say, is that the creepy guy again? So, I mean, that could correspond with him maybe going at the end of the bridge and kind of scouting what's at the end and then coming back. Has been proven to disseminate disinformation. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to go after her, but I just, sometimes her posts, I just, I said that particular post like bothered me because it was just, I don't know. With her position, I think she's got to be careful. Yeah, many don't think, but there's still a lot of people that do. Annalise, good to see you. Ruckus seems to suggest more than one offender came from more than one direction, and then someone with perhaps RA returned to the private drive area after the crime. Yeah, and we're going to talk about that just a little bit. But yeah, just the last thing with Ron Logan. I think the defense, if you really think about it, if they had enough damning evidence against Ron Logan, the defense would know about it, and that would be their best play, obviously, especially if he was the guy. There would be enough there. So I think clearly there had to have been something since the report came out and the search warrant and everything that has cleared him, and they know that, and they knew that would just be that would sink RA. But that's just my opinion. Oh yeah. Like I said, that's why I brought this up, because I don't know, maybe because it's FBI. She was former FBI, so she's kind of sticking up for the FBI. But anyway, I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, so I'm gonna play this other part that we played last time I was live. Gosh dang it. Oh, to answer Fun and Funky's question, where are you? Gwen Brunel. So this is going to be the case. Sorry, we'll get right back on track. This is the case we're going to be working on soon as the snow goes away up in this area here, which is actually, yeah, this, so not Idaho, it actually would be Oregon, right? Is that, or Washington? No, that's Nevada. I'm sorry, guys. That's Nevada. So kind of northern Nevada, I guess. Not as much northern Nevada, because that's Idaho there. Sorry, I don't have the full map, so I'm trying to picture it. So yeah, kind of close to the border right here. Close to Idaho anyway. Midway. That's probably going to be the case that we, at the very least, I will go out early this spring when the snow melts. And believe me, especially after with this problem with my foot, I am dying to get out because I am getting like antsy sitting around.
Back on February of 2000.
All right, so let's see. Let me play. Okay. So one last time, because we kind of went over this last, I think the last live show, but it was kind of interesting. Jordan Valley, thank you, Anna. Yeah, like I said, when you cover a lot of missing people, especially there's a lot that we cover around in that area. But back on Delphi. So we went over one of the things that they took from Richard Allen, which is the motorcycle cover. And somebody shared with us that I can't prove this. But Jill, if you can, I don't know if you can elaborate how you know. I don't know if I asked you that last live, but apparently rumor has it that there was motorcycle tire tracks on the cover, which kind of makes sense. I'm assuming if a motorcycle cover was around a motorcycle, maybe you take it off and maybe one of the wheels goes on it and leaves some tire tracks on it. So anyway, somebody shared with me. Sorry, I'm reading chat here. Somebody in chat shared that with me. I thought that was interesting. Like I said, I can't confirm that. But one of the things that law enforcement searched was this, and it kind of depends on what you want to call it, but there's the Weber's property, Weber's slash Sanders, that's the same family. They're the family that's basically closest. After the bridge where it trespasses and there's a trespass sign, there's the private driveway that goes up. That goes to the Webers. Now, apparently, they were looking through the garage slash outbuilding. That's one of the kind of buildings that are, either a garage or an outbuilding that's detached from the actual home. And this is rumored years ago that one of them mentioned that there was apparently what looked like motorcycle tire tracks leading to the garage side door, which was very interesting. Sorry, I'm just reading chat. And then there was also talk, which is the guy that sadly took his life, but he was, covering this case and had some very, definitely had inside information because a lot of stuff that he talked about had come true or was true in some fashion. But and one of the things he says, if they truly found blood tied to the victims in Weber's garage, now we don't know that for sure. Their house is the one with the long driveway that goes under the bridge, what I just mentioned. Then I don't see how there wasn't more than one person involved in this. Now, that I could see still going both ways. Obviously, it would make no sense that someone would leave. So he's basically saying, I don't know why someone would cross the river and then come back. But apparently, they believe that after the crime scene, the perpetrator came back and left some kind of souvenir and possibly even cleaned up. And then either probably later that night, if this is all true, came back maybe during the middle of the night when they maybe called off the search, or even maybe when the search was going on. I mean, I know people say, well, if Richard Allen came back on a motorcycle, wouldn't they hear it? But then again, if there was a bunch of things going on, if people were like on ATVs driving around, maybe, they wouldn't think much of it and they would just think this person is just out searching for them. Would be interesting to know if that really did happen. But anyway, it all ties back to the motorcycle cover, which is just one of the biggest unexplained and weirdest things that they took, in my opinion, unless, it had like something like the cover, because apparently the bike was gone when they arrested Richard Allen. Apparently, I think there was rumors that he had sold it a few years before, obviously rumors, but I don't think he had it when they arrested him, but apparently the cover was still there. And then here's just to kind of further go with these rumors, and you can see the post. These are 4 years ago. Let's see if I can blow this up a little bit. Sally says it was very foggy that night. Ooh, interesting. And that would kind of make sense because, yeah, I mean, we kind of get that time of year. So Bitter Beat Poet says, I can tell you this, law enforcement confiscated the owner's son's handgun. So the Weber / Sanders, apparently that family was out of town, but the son or son-in-law, I can't remember if it's just the son, was house sitting. I don't know if he lived there, but apparently he did get home at like 3, I believe. So anyway, it says they did take, he owned a handgun. They took it for 6 months, but they returned it. They also went through the trail cam footage, but of course the footage wasn't going at that time because they were gone. Where's the other thing? And this is one that really certainly hits home to me. Let me close this just a little bit. Is this post that was from 4 years ago. if the killer didn't know they, if the killer knew they weren't home, that would almost certainly mean he had a very close tie to the immediate area. And I don't know. That's kind of chilling to hear because we know that he lived Richard Allen lives 5 minutes away. So definitely chilling to hear a statement like that. And it would be interesting to know, did he know that family at all? Anna says, I asked a lot of questions about Delphi, and people who were there said there was dense fog that night and into the day till about noon. As a matter of fact, it does kind of look like you can actually... Oh, 1 second. So this is taken, obviously, the day that they found the girls. Almost, I think, when this helicopter's up, I think they had just found them. I don't think the helicopters knew that yet. But there are parts in this where it does look like there's kind of a fog that had lifted when they go over certain parts of that. And it does look a little foggy. Now, obviously, it's not nighttime, but... does appear to be better, though. Thought there were certain parts that did look foggy, though. But anyway, there's the property there. And I did want to pull this up just in case. I don't know if they zoom in. I know at one point they show them driving up the private driveway, and there is the home. So, now I'm not sure which building they're talking about, if it's this one here or if it's one of these right here. So the girls would have been found. Oops. Boy, that goes quick. So the girls would have been found right approximately about here, because you can see where the trees kind of bend over. So they're kind of like right here. Here's the cemetery. Ron Logan's property back here. Obviously, this is part of Ron Logan's property. But kind of right here is the crime scene. But the private driveway, which goes under the bridge, kind of pops out. Apparently, these homeowners were gone, except for the son coming home about 3. Or a little after 3. I'm sorry, not 3. I think it was a little after 3. Like 3:30, I believe. Good to see you, Sensei. Hope you're doing well. If you enjoyed the show, please please go close chat for a moment and hit that thumbs up. Oh, thank you so much, Sensei. I was trying to read it. I appreciate it. Supposedly the motorbike came back after the crime, but before the crime scene was located. The motorbike came back after the crime, but before the crime scene was located. Yeah, that would make sense because, I mean, afterwards they would be searching that. So yeah, he would have to, if that was the case, he would have had to have come after... Probably back that night if that was the case. But as I said, someone shared that with me in chat. I thought that was very interesting. No, I can't confirm that, but it was just a strange piece of evidence that they took. R.A. lived close to the trail. Yeah, R.A. lived... Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, here, actually, let me do this. Sorry, trying to think which one would have been the best one to do. We're gonna pull up Google Earth, but this will probably be quicker. Yeah, that's where he lived. This is where he lived. This is the bridge. It's a 5-minute drive. You can go two ways, and it's a 5-minute drive. It's only 2.5 miles away from the Monon Bridge. I mean, and that's just going out of the way. If you were to take a straight shot, it's probably just under 2 miles straight shot to the bridge. So yeah, clearly he lived. I mean, he's one of the. I mean, next to this neighborhood, he is the next closest neighborhood. I mean, I guess unless you want to see this, but I mean, yeah, I mean, he's right there. So when is the court date? So yeah, court date is right now, October, what? I forget the exact date. October this year, unless, which I'm sure I'll just recap real quick. And like I said, I'm going to have some more stuff. I have to do some therapy with my foot to get that better. Like I said, it just bugs me why I'm doing this live, and I apologize because it just starts to get worse and worse, and it's just this position I'm sitting in. So anyway, if you guys missed the beginning, of course, the new lawyers came back, and as of today, well, at least with the court anyway, his recently appointed attorneys, Sherman and Labrado, they have now withdrawn from the case, which leaves, obviously, Baldwin and Rosie. And then the other thing was that Judge Gull had denied the Franks motion, which we weren't too surprised with. But we'll see what happens. And then, of course, you could say, which has been out there for a little over a week now, is the added charges. We have the felony murder charges and now the kidnapping charges. So he does have more. Hey, Josh, good to see you. Like I said, I'm sorry, guys. I wish I was 100%. I will be once I start doing some physical therapy. If RA went to the trails from the south side, then what the heck about him parking his car at presumably the CPS building? The more and more, the less we know. I think, in my opinion, the reason why he went that way, I know, because it's like you would think he would park at the cemetery, but maybe he had other plans. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I know, I mean, you can't speak for the crazy, but maybe it was never, kidnapping was never the intention, and yeah, I don't know. It is weird that he would park at the CPS building, considering where they ended up. You would think cemetery would be probably the likely spot to park. That is definitely a great question. Fun and Funky, thank you so much. I wish I could look that up at the moment, but my cell phone's charging. But thank you so much, Fun and Funky, for the support. I really appreciate it. Like I said, guys, I had like this neuropathy in my foot that's been bugging me, and sitting down, it starts to like get worse and worse, and then it just starts to like nag at me. I'm supposed to get medication tomorrow, and then get on some kind of physical therapy. So hopefully that'll help, and then I can start doing more lives and more videos. But fortunately, I've just been sitting around too much, I guess. Too much chances of being seen at the cemetery. Yeah, I mean, apparently he parked funny at the CPS building, so we'll see. Does RA or his wife know Kay or Brad Weber? That's a great question, Carol. That is a great question. I mean, it's not a big town if you think about it. Remember, he was doing the family's funeral photos. So, I mean, I forget. I know I've looked up the population of Delphi. It's very small. I mean, he is like technically, well, this is before the because there was rumors or there was mentions he worked at the pharmacy, but that wasn't true. That was actually misinformation. He worked at CVS, but he didn't work in the pharmacy. He was just a night manager or a store manager, like one of the, I forget the exact title of it, but anyway, but he would have to help change out the registers or whatever, I think, for the pharmacy, but he never worked in the pharmacy because that was something that was misreported. K2 and D3 capsules or tablets help Chris. Interesting. Yeah, I've been trying to take multivitamins, but yeah, I got to definitely look for some stuff for neuropathy. I'm waiting for his trial. A plea deal might be better for the family. I don't know. This case has been the same for years. Yeah, it has been. And I wish I had more time to go over some stuff, but my foot is killing me. I apologize, guys. And shift leader, thank you. I should know that because I worked at Albertsons for 7 years, and I just about did it all there. We had pretty much the same titles. Shift leader. Yeah, that's what he was. Sharon also knows the Patties. Why did Patties lie about knowing the Allen family? That, that I don't know. That and that's a great question. DMSO can help neuropathy and inflammation. Have to get it at feed store, generally in the horse section. Really? Huh. You guys have been I get the burning sensation when I sit down. It's like when I'm doing this, which is the thing. This is like my job. When I sit down or if I'm working on a video for you guys and stuff. So basically when I'm working, which is sitting in this chair, is when it starts to cause me issues. And it sucks. And that's why I've been kind of missing a couple live shows because it's just, it get better the more I'm off this chair and I'm like laying down or whatever. But when I sit down, it starts just to inflammation and it kills me. So anyways, guys, I appreciate all your guys' love and support and everybody that donated, that could donate. Gosh, I think I missed some. Holy crap. Did I miss a few? Tom, I think I missed that one. RL has a lot bigger beer belly. Yeah, I didn't want to. Yeah, he does. I think, yeah, because if you think about it, when we looked at that side by side, you got to think that we know that BG's got, some layers on. And when you look at Ron Logan, he's just got this one dress shirt on. And, yeah, he's got a little bit of, whatever you want, a little bit of belly. So, yeah, imagine if he had, a hoodie, a Carhartt, over that. Yeah, I would think it would. Yeah. Leave it at that. Anyway, so I think I got everything with that. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Joy. I'm so sorry. But I appreciate everybody's, gosh, so many great things I didn't even think about with the foot thing. I really appreciate it, guys. Like I said, it's bugged the heck out of me. And like I said, this is what I do. And when I sit, if I can't sit, I can't do my work, and it just bugs the heck out of me. And so I thought, well, I'll just stay off my foot and elevate it. And it was like getting better, but I couldn't just get past it, because then I'd have to go to work, and then, so anyway, we'll get it figured out. Like I said, I'm sure, with some exercise and some physical therapy, we'll get back together, back on track. Anyway, all right, we're going to end it there, guys. Like I said, we'll be back on Friday. And like I said, I see my doctor Friday morning. So hopefully, and I get my gabapentin tomorrow. So we should be, at least it won't bug me while I'm doing my live shows. And then I'll hopefully get a plan going. So with that, we're going to end the stream, and we'll be back on Friday. I know we may be covering the Jason Laundrie case. The more closer it gets a little bit to spring, I know we still got a ways to go, but let's be covering some of these cases that we're going to be going out and working on. So just like Gwen Brunel, closer it gets, we'll probably do another show like that. And then, yeah, if anything else comes out, of course, we'll do an update. So I think we'll end it there. Thank you so much, mods. You guys are amazing. Love you guys. And everybody, appreciate the love and support. So much great information. Like I said, I'm no spring chicken, but man, getting less young is not fun. And I guess the body starts to slowly fall apart. And it's just part of life. So anyway, we'll go ahead and end it there. I'm going to get an outro going. And then when we get towards the end of we'll have to see how I feel at the end of the month. I know I was going to do another pet outro, but we'll have to see where I'm at, because I got to try to get this taken care of so I can get back on track. So thank you guys so much. Complete it.